Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 16 of Mental Health and Addiction YouTube channel. My name's Justin. I'm going to go over some things like communication and boundaries, which includes standing up for yourself, meaning like self-respect, without being narcissistic, standing up for yourself. Being narcissistic is a mental health issue in itself. I'm not necessarily going to touch on that right now, but anyhow, episode 16 of Mental Health and Addiction Beyond Communication and Boundaries. First thing I want to talk about is how mental health and addiction patients seem to get or be used to the extremely poor treatment, experiencing the extremely poor treatment and incorrect assumptions of others who don't maybe not understand them, or just make just generalized assumptions about, especially with mental health or addiction patients and mental health. Really, both of those compounded are really just what I'm talking about, but especially those. It's people make assumptions and incorrect assumptions, and that wears on you. Just because of the person's struggles or some situation that they're going through, which another may not be able to relate to, and so goes to assumptions and ignorance, basically, without really listening to the person who's, obviously is experiencing said issues. So, in saying that, I wanted to say that people get falsely accused of things that they haven't done, or just because of misunderstandings. Sure, you're not perfect, but being accused of things that you've not done, especially things you know you would never do, it just goes too far. So my point on that is that how others view you and treat you, for mental patients, if you're a mental patient, and I say that in a colloquial way, I mean mental health and addiction patients. I call myself that, mental patient sometimes, but it's probably not the best term, so I apologize. But it does affect us, how other people treat us, especially in that moment. We struggle with, when you're consistently and persistently just viewed in such a misconstrued, tangled way from who you really are, that really does affect a person. It may affect who they are and how they behave. They may give up on some of, the good things they used to be about themselves, because why would they continue trying if others don't appreciate it? And I don't want to. People think that's a cop-out, so I don't really care what people think, but it's a fact. It does affect us. We're human. Fear and misunderstandings about mental health and addiction patients drive a lot of these experiences that mental health and addiction patients, or just individuals, whatever you want to call them, have to go through. These experiences of being judged and misunderstood and things like that. And in fact, communication is very important between not just the mental health or addiction individual patient, but anyone who's trying to understand them has a responsibility to also, if you're going to start making accusations, has a responsibility to, be just as prudent about their accusations. Don't just make wild accusations. It's out of fear, or some little ticky-tacky box you want to generalize and put someone into because of a label you've given them. So just think about that. So a lot of us who do have issues with our boundaries or standing up for ourselves, I'm one of those people. It sucks. People tend to take advantage of us and may not realize that they're doing it. So I've had to, call some people out in my life who have been taking, I feel, advantage of some favor that I may have offered them, or something to that effect, we'll say. And I had made it clear that I was dealing with some things, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Things like that, and they continued to persist, and not to mention the sort of verbal tirade I received from one of them about politics, which was just, the way it was done was very insulting, personally insulting. And I was just like, because I had a mask on, so because I was I'm not going to talk about these people in specific, but anyway, nonetheless, don't let people take advantage of you. Stand up for yourself. If somebody doesn't like it, I actually told them I wasn't doing well. They didn't say, "Oh, I hope you feel better," or nothing. Just didn't say nothing. So I don't know what that says about them or me or whatever, but I'm starting to care less about what people who take advantage of me think about me feeling taken advantage of. If you feel taken advantage of, you probably are. One other thing. I'm going to say that things that are not necessarily PC. I've said that. And I may not necessarily be right for saying it, but I'm going to say it. I may be wrong for saying it, but we have a lot of commercials on TV to help, children in other countries and people in dire situations in other countries. I am in full support of that. However, we don't see any exposure to the extreme poverty we have in the United States. It's not really truly covered in full depth, and sometimes you hear about human interest stories, but they're always happy ending stories. We need to hear about real life, and we need to see it. That's how change happens. We saw something finally. The George Floyd thing was just the last straw, apparently. For some reason, it's been going on and on and on and on, but it was the last straw. I guess because a lot of people had extra time. Whatever. Nonetheless, people participated, and it was very important to them. Anyway, my point is, where's the support for people in the U.S.? There's so many people hungry, homeless, unable to care for themselves due to disability or mental illness or other, just difficult time that it's something that if you haven't experienced, you may not understand it, and you may think it's just hogwash. But I've experienced it, and I've seen it, but I think it needs so much more exposure, because after going through it myself, I just, if people really knew what it was like, there's no way there's no way they would turn their backs. They really knew. So I feel like it's important to give struggling Americans and impoverished Americans, the same type of consideration and exposure that we give to those in other countries, if not more, because we can't. Here we go. I think this is a proverb, actually, but it's a fact, too. Imagine that. Something to the effect of, you can't get a speck out of someone else's eye if they have, if they have something stuck in their eye, when you have a log, some giant piece in yours. So you can't necessarily help others when you have similar worse problems of your own. When do you must focus on yourself in order to help others effectively. We're having a crisis here. There's reverberations of fear throughout America, and there's a lot of misunderstandings. Please educate yourself, use your vote and voice, tune out the madness, and just listen to the facts, please. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of stuff right now, and this is a platitude, but I'm offering it. The Suicide Prevention Hotline. It is 1-800-273-8255. I'm open to talking to people too. Please try to get a hold of me and give me some time to, respond, because I don't just sit by my phone waiting for it all the time. But I'm willing to talk to people as well. So, thank you guys for listening. It's just about a 12, maybe 12 and a half minute video going to be. So, this has been the Mental Health and Addiction YouTube channel. Again, episode 16 on communication and boundaries. Please share this video and subscribe, and tell your friends to subscribe. We need more subscribers. We, as in, I guess, me. But we are a community, and so I want to help you guys, and I want you guys to talk to me and tell me what you guys may have questions about or may want to talk about. And again, my responses will be based on my experiences and my things that I believe to be true based on my experiences and based on historical facts and things like that. I don't just willy-nilly just say things biasly or anything like that. I really do have experience and facts behind all my answers. Any answer I will give. So, thanks again, guys. Again, please share and subscribe. We do need more subscribers, and I hope we can get this thing off the ground a little bit more. Share and subscribe. Thank you, guys. Episode 16, Communication and Boundaries.